This is a blog that I wrote in a few minutes a few weeks ago, and it is posted on the internet. It is titled The Islamic Rape That Isn't Being Discussed Today. Unfortunately, YouTube is demonetizing most of the videos discussing the Middle East, and so we will see. I'm going to go ahead and put it out as this title, but it's more than likely it's going to be demonetized, but my words are going to be shared with you. The current migrant rape epidemic, as it's being called, is fairly recent, as frightening as it might be. However, a real-life brown genocide has been occurring in a real sense, not only in the sense of bombs dropping on people living in countries that had nothing to do with the 9/11 attacks, but countless stories of civilian women being sexually assaulted by occupying troops from Western nations from both Europe and the United States. Why is this overlooked when it was discussed as far back as the Bush administration by even Alex Jones of Infowars.com? For those that recall, these topics were featured issues on the Alex Jones channel and Infowars.com before the narrative shift 180 degrees. Alex Jones at one point was the only major media figure alleging that U.S. troops actually raped Iraqi children in front of their parents using battery acid. And for that, I respected him and saw in him, in my eyes, to be one of the bravest men of our era. That was then. Of all groups, the brown genocide that I speak of has been particularly occurring in Afghanistan to its already war-torn refugees who are not responsible for the 9/11 attacks, either on a mastermind level or auxiliary support level. This is something that many who consume alternative media should be able to understand. After all, those who consume mainstream media content obviously have not been able to stumble upon the obvious 9/11 truth, another issue that's demonetized here on YouTube. People sucking into the mainstream media. They are unable to face the unanswered questions of 9/11. Alex Jones himself declared that 9/11 was an inside job. As others have been speculating, the current president of the United States, that would be Donald Trump. They think he's going to open a new 9/11 investigation. I ask, how can there be healing to the lies of 9/11 without reporting on the uncounted death toll of Afghan civilians since 9/11, as well as the widespread stories of sexual assault and rape that are reported to have happened to many innocent civilians, both male and female, including children? By the way, there's a lot less of those stories that seem to be coming out. I think that there's a cover-up. Where is the Pizzagate crowd? Another buzzword, hot word on YouTube that can cause some problems. Where is the Pizzagate crowd to the rescue of the children of the world when we need them? Right? These people say, I gotta feed the children. Oh my God, the children. Here we have a case, right? Middle Eastern children being raped. What's that? Crickets. After all, we are talking about a country blamed for 9/11 that in reality was no longer an actual country, but a war-torn region, still called Afghanistan, but really a war-torn region without any real infrastructure or stable government or military in the post-Russian occupation of 1979 to 1989, in which millions were slaughtered and displaced, made homeless, made refugees, forced into other countries. The Afghan people fell victim to the reign of the Taliban that was able to jockey itself into position with U.S. money via Pakistan's ISI intelligence network, which ruled with an iron fist over innocent Afghan civilians. In other words, the Taliban and other radical Islamic sects were non-elected but warlord feudal systems of imperialism using Islam as a front and Western funds for vehicles, arms, and equipment. The artificial rise of the Taliban is the perfect example before ISIS took center stage. How could ISIS develop a stronghold in the center of a region of a major U.S. presence 10 years plus after their arrival? Why was there no real end to the Western money fueling the so-called radical Islamic war machine? Do you understand now why ISIS was so easily able to gain a foothold in Afghanistan? This has always been by design. The events of 9/11 brought Afghanistan back into the spotlight, which provided the pretext for the invasion, this time by the West, which still continues to this day. Later, they announced their so-called discovery of the minerals of value. It wasn't just about opium. How often do you see people showing concern for civilians, especially in areas where they know that U.S. money, tax dollars, and black ops funding has gone to fuel radical Islam, i.e. Obama behind ISIS narrative, i.e. Bush behind Al-Qaeda. So the Pentagon always has an enemy to fight to provide the pretext for more military spending. Many people claim to already know that aspects of the Western intelligence arms has fueled militant opposition in the Middle East. Then why continue to or allow others to demonize innocent human beings as terrorists while not discussing the innocent civilians killed or raped by either humans serving the occupation or by their robot armies and drones? For Afghanistan and the Middle East, drone strikes have actually activated Skynet as machines kill the living without protests. The following are a series of reports: victims of war sexually assaulted by foreign troops. Where is either the left or right to be seen protesting these things? Do Afghan lives matter to anyone yet? And if someone was to protest these specific actions or rapes, would they be kissing their career goodbye in certain fields, or completely alienating their audiences if they're public speakers or YouTubers? Some cases, the answer is yes. For anyone that's heard Pink Floyd's Is There Anybody Out There? I think it fits this moment quite nicely. Couple reports from the past: 2016, alleged torture, rape, secret detention cells. ICC uncovers possible war crimes by U.S. troops and CIA in Afghanistan. Ex-U.S. soldier gets life for Iraqi girl's rape, murder. The U.S. stole Afghanistan's riches and natural resources, raped and killed innocent civilians, and now they destroy its hospitals and clinics. That's actually a tweet. With another person saying, it makes me sick that some of the soldiers that returned from Afghanistan and Iraq murdered and raped innocent civilians, and they're celebrated. And that frightens me, that disgusts me, and that is an epidemic of our country. The mass murders of the Afghanis and Iraqis and the women that love them. And so, yeah, this is a big issue. It's the Islamic rape that people aren't talking about today. What I wrote to you was something that what I read to you is something that I put together. And hopefully I'll be doing more writing in the future. Please support my work over at alexansary.tv/donate.